So you said you got this text. Do you remember what time you got the text?
Almost around 10, I believe.
Okay. So we see in 18.6, can you see the time of the text message?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your phone that we're looking at this text?
Yeah, the one in the picture.
In this picture? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And what time did this text come in?
10:29.
And when you got this text, did you know where Susana was?
No, I did not.
Were you awake when you got this text?
Yes.
What did you do when you got this text?
I tried to call her, and she didn't answer, and so I called Esmeralda because I thought they were together.
Okay. And did Esmeralda answer?
Yes, she did.
And the links we see in stage 18.6, a phone number. Do you know whose phone number that is?
That's Susana's phone number.
Okay. And we see a link at the bottom. Did you click that link?
Yes, ma'am.
What did that link show you?
It showed me her Life 360 location at the Oak Ridge apartment, the one right next to Kelly's.
I'm going to give you the pictures back. You can go through them and tell me when you click the link, which picture was it that pulled up?
This one right here.
You're showing us 18.4.
Yes, ma'am.
You got a permission to publish 18.4?
Yes.
And again, this is on the screen. Tell us here, for those of us who don't use 360, what we're looking at so we understand.
That is her location. Her icon says that it was there.
So that picture we see in the picture with the multiple girls, whose picture is that?
Susana put that picture up. It's me, Susana, and Esmeralda.
Okay. Is that the picture? So she would have put that as her icon on 360?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And where is that showing? What is that showing us? The picture?
I believe we're at the arcade.
No, I'm sorry. I get the picture is at the arcade of the 3U girls?
Yes.
Okay. So where is the ring on the 360 app showing that she is?
In the neighborhood right there, the Oak Lock Trace.
Do you know that neighborhood?
No, I have a friend who lives there, but I'm not very familiar with it.
That friend that lives there, was that a friend of Susana that she would go to?
No.
Did you know any reason why Susana would be at that location that night?
No.
And near, we see her, it says near Oak Lock Trace on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then it says since 10:30 p.m. yesterday. Tell us what those mean.
It says that her location has been there since 10:30 p.m. So like she hasn't moved since then from that area.
Okay. And that's what you got when you opened that link.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you called Esmeralda after you couldn't reach Susie, and you talked to Esmeralda. What did you do after you got that alert that night?
After speaking with Esmeralda, she went out there and checked it out because we were thinking she got into a car accident. She couldn't find any debris or anything, so we just assumed that she was sleeping over at a friend's house, and we slept on it.
Did you go out to that location that night yourself?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But you said Esmeralda did?
Yes.
How did you know Esmeralda went out there?
I was on the phone with her the whole time.
You stayed with her on the phone the whole time she was out there?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we could pull up picture 18. So this picture submitted into evidence as 18. Can you explain to us what this is showing us?
The details of her location.
Okay, so that location of 3298 Windscape Village Lane, do you know that location?
I believe that's Kelly's house.
Have you been to that house before?
Yes.
And it says that under there sometimes 728 to 958. What does that mean?
That's like how long she was there.
Okay, so looking at that time, if she got there at, let's say, 6:30, would it show on the app?
Yeah, if she got there at 6:30, it would.
Okay. What if she was somewhere else, like the living room or the bedroom, a different place then, like her phone moved? Would that change the time?
No, because if it's in like a very small area, then it wouldn't.
What if you're walking around in the parking lot of the apartment complex? Would that change the time?
Yes.
And we could bring up 18.1. Ms. Carter, looking at 18.1, that's been admitted into the evidence, one of the screenshots you took. Can you explain to us, first of all, what is the time on this that it says on the phone?
It says 9:58 p.m. to 10:07 p.m.
Can we make it bigger so we can see the top? Okay, we see the top of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
The 856.
Yes, ma'am.
Whose phone is that? The 856.
That's my phone.
Okay. And the battery, the little LTE yellow battery, that's your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we see the short trip, the 9:58 to 10:07. Tell us what that means and what we're looking at here.
So it's basically a trip is anytime you make movement that's big enough for it to capture. So like if you go on like a car ride to the store and come back, it'll show you the trip, like the highest miles and stuff like that. Or if you go walking across the street or something, and that's what it means.
So we see that path there with the white dot to the black dot kind of crisscross.
Yes,
Do you know
ma'am.
what that would mean?
I'm not entirely sure.
And if we could look at 18.2. And again, you took this screenshot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what we're looking at here.
That shows her driving from the front of her neighborhood.
Did Susana have a car?
No, Susanna did not have a car.
Did she drive?
No.
Okay. Do you know at 10:21 p.m. Who she would be driving with?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And we see that location that says Steve Reynolds Boulevard at the end. Can you explain to us from the white dot to the black dot up top what that means?
It means that she started at where the white dot is, the Steve Reynolds Boulevard. She started there, and then she ended where that black dot is. That's where the trip ended.
Okay, and we see on the bottom the speed, the phone usage. Explain to us what those mean, the top speed.
Yeah, so the top speed will just tell you like the fastest speed, like on the whole trip, the fastest that you've gone. Phone usage, it'll see how much she's been on the phone. The other ones, the other three, I don't have like the gold membership, so I'm not familiar with those.
So is that why we see that little lock? You can
Yeah.
see that stuff? Okay. That location of Steve Reynolds Boulevard, do you know why Susana would be over there?
Yes.
The top location where it stopped at Steve Reynolds Boulevard location?
Where she ended?
Yes.
No.
Do you know any friends, do you guys in your friend group have any friends over there?
No.
And if we can look at 18.3. And so we see at the top, what time is this on your phone?
12:12.
Okay. And Tell us what we're looking at in this picture of the screenshot you took.
This is Susanna's location, and I was on, that little box is a FaceTime call I was on with Esmeralda,
Okay.
and yeah, it's a screenshot of her location.
Okay, and on the bottom where it says under her name by her picture, what does it say under her name?
Under her name?
Yeah.
It says near Steve Reynolds Boulevard since 10:30 p.m. yesterday.
What does that mean?
It means that she's been at that location or near the location since 10:30.
Okay. And if we could go to, and what, I'm sorry, what is the battery? We see under a little battery thing under Susanna's picture on the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
It tells what her phone battery is.
Okay. And what is the phone battery is there?
9%.
And do you know, have you ever used the 360 app when your battery's dying?
Yes.
Tell me how that works with your battery.
Whenever your battery is low, you can whenever somebody else's battery is low, you can send them a message to charge their phone. That's pretty much it. You just can see other people's battery lives to be able to let them know that they need to charge their phone.
Can you still see someone's location when their battery is low?
Yes.
And in this picture of 18.3 where it says 12, what does the battery say for Susanna?
9%.
And we're going to go to 18.4. And this picture, 18.4, this also you took the screenshot.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us what we're looking at here.
It's still her same location, so it said that she had been there since 10:30, so she's still there.
She's still at that location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that the same location where the crash alert you got was located at?
Yes, ma'am.
And what time is it now on your phone when you took this?
12:22.
And the battery, as Susanna, what is her battery at this point, 10 minutes later?
I believe that says 7%.
And we're going to go to 18.5. This picture, tell us what we're looking at here on the phone.
That is whenever her phone ran out of battery, so it doesn't show the location anymore because her phone's out of battery.
Okay, so we see that it says since 10:30 p.m. Does that mean that her battery's been out since 10:30 p.m. or since that's her location since 10:30 p.m.?
It means that is where she was at, like her location since 10:30 p.m.
Okay, so this is showing us on 18.5 that she has been at that location off Steve Reynolds since 10:30 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are we able to tell what time her battery went out?
I don't believe so.
But even though her battery is out, you're still tracking her location on her phone.
Yes.
And this says 8:56. Do you know, is that 8:56 in the morning or the night?
I'm not sure.
Because we see it says it was Susanna's was last updated 15 hours ago at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be the next morning? Or you don't?
I think it's PM.
Okay. It's okay if you don't know. And again, that crash alert you got, you've only ever gotten one.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you drop your phone off the table at your house, you don't get a crash alert?
No, ma'am.
And if your battery runs out, do you get a crash alert or?
No, ma'am.
And you said you talked to Esmeralda that night while she was at the location and didn't see anything, signs of a crash.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you ever able to reach Susanna that day?
No.
The next morning, what did you do?
The next morning, I woke up and I checked my phone, and Esme had told me that she still hadn't been in contact with anybody and that her mom had filed a police report.
And at that point, had you heard from Susana?
No.
And did you check your other social media to see if she had any signs on Snap or TikTok or anything?
Yes.
And did you see her on any other social media?
No, ma'am.
Did you take any steps to look for Susana?
Yes. So, the morning, the night after she went missing, me and some of my family and friends went to the location that it said she was last at in that neighborhood and looked around. I even asked my friend if we could look at her ring footage or maybe if she seen or heard anything to let us know.
Is that your friend who lived on the Oak Block Trace apartments?
Yes.
Okay. And did you look at that ring?
Yes. There was nothing on there.
Okay. Besides looking at that location, well, how long do you think you spent at that location?
It was a couple hours. It definitely was a couple hours. Because we looked up and down the road, all in the neighborhood. There was like a shed in there that we looked in.
Do you also use the Find My Friends or Find My on the iPhone?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have Susana on that Find My?
Yes.
Did you look for Susana on the Apple Find My app that night also?
Yes.
What did it show for that?
It's not very accurate on Find My like it is on Life 360.
So
So
you find that Life 360 is more accurate than the Apple app?
yes.
And you said you searched that location on Oak Trace. Did you look at any other locations?
Yes, I looked at the front of her neighborhood to see if we can find anything of hers, like any jewelry or like a croc charm. To see if we can see like skid marks. I used to look for her in parks and stuff.
When you were out there at the Oak Block Trace location, were police there too?
Yes.
Who else was there with you besides you and police?
Her mom was there, her sister, her boyfriend Axel, Esmeralda was there, my mom was there, my uncle was there, my sister was there, her boyfriend. It was a lot of us.
So all of you were looking?
Yes.
Okay. Those pictures that we looked at up there, did you give those to the police?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you searched some area parks and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you also help hang up flyers?
Yes.
Did you ever hear from Susana again after that?
No, ma'am.